Good morning, this is Zachary from Zachary Sweeps. This customer hasn't used her wood burner for about 3 years, and she wants to get it up and running. And it's very wet outside today, so it is very cold and it's downdrafting a bit. As you can see, it's got a register plate without a liner. There was someone made a comment yesterday about that he's got a brick fireplace, he hasn't got a clay pot lime flue or a stainless steel liner in his chimney, and he works fine. Well, this is a perfect example of them working fine without them. So basically up here, if we go up here, I might be able to show you before I start. As you can, I might be able to sort of get in there. I'm just trying to do it through the camera, but it's a bit difficult. But let me see if I can or not. Let's just get that up in there, and I'm actually trying to show you, but this is not what the reason why I'm showing. I'm just wanting to show you the outside of the. That's better. What you got to be careful is when you're having these swept, is that you don't have them power swept, because they can create some serious damage to the actual liner. Well, this one's got no lining of the chimney at all. So if you power sweep them, don't ever power sweep these ones. Only power sweep them if they're very tarry. But you always use the traditional way of rods and brushes. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's not that clear. It's weird. I'm actually trying to do it in a way that you can see. I might show you. No, it's not going to work properly. But if you've got some sort of idea, let me just turn it upside down and around. Maybe we can do it like that. Maybe not. No, it's not going to work. So anyway, giving it a go. So basically inside there, the lining has gone in the chimney, but it's not an issue. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put you there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just push this up for a moment, because I'm going to do it in a different way, because obviously the chimney's not drawing very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we, I don't know what's happened there. I want you to see the actual hole in the, that's it, there it is. So what I'm going to do first is, good morning by the way, what I'm going to do first is we're going to get some paper, because I want to warm the chimney up. So what I'm going to do is just stick a little bit of paper up in the chimney, like this, and then light it. Down so I can actually see what I'm doing. You can see it's got such a draft on it at the moment. It doesn't want to line. Thank you. That'd be. I've got matches on board if you haven't. So. Well done. Just gonna go get some matches. I'll be back in a minute. Right, I've got this one lit. So basically what I'm going to do is just going to light that piece of paper in there like that. And the reason why I'm doing this, you don't normally do this, but I've swept the chimney and I just want it to warm up. So we're sending that up the chimney like that. As you can see it's just burning up there. It's not a fire risk or anything like that at all. Basically all it is doing is just warming the chimney up a bit. That's all we're trying to do. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, my lady. We've got a candle, so I'm just going to send another piece of paper up there.
I'll take it and hold it for you.
No, it's all right, it's fine. That's lovely. I'm just going to do that just with a couple of pieces. I'll stick that over here. And just let that do what it's doing.
Give you a candlestick.
All right, lovely. Thank you, that'd be super. So basically, as you can see, it's literally sitting on top of the register plate. It's not going to cause a fire risk or anything like that. As I said, we've already swept it. We've checked up there. Hopefully, you've got a slight glimpse of what the inside of the chimney looks like. What I'm going to do now is it's got a plate that goes across here, so we're just going to close that up. Make sure that goes in properly. Interesting, what's going on here. on the other side. So. You can actually feel the draft. There's absolutely no way this lady would be able to get this going.
It's not working.
That's alright. Right, then the next thing what we're going to do, we're going to put loads of paper in, as you know. Now that we've warmed the chimney up a bit, we'll pack this up. And like as I always say, don't be frightened at all. Just put loads and loads of paper in. Don't screw it up too tightly. There's a bit of kindling in there, so the customer hasn't got any wood. Normally it's better to have wood to get the chimney warmed up as quick as possible. But as you can see, don't be frightened. Put as much as you can in there, and then that'd be lovely. I'll take it as it is. That's all right, my love. Don't worry, that's fine. And then what we'll do is we'll just like that, and then we'll shut the door in a minute. Remember, it needs the oxygen in there. As you can hear, it's got a lovely draw. It's roaring away quite nicely. So we open these vents up here on the side as well. If it ever goes down, then just leave the door slightly open. So we can bring it up a bit closer, so you can see what's going on now. So I'm not doing that part. I want to bring it as close as I can, so you can see it. There you go. So now it's drawing. There's a bit, as I said, there's a bit of kindling in there. So what we want to do is we want to hear the crackling of the kindling. This lovely lady is she's feeling the cold at the moment, so I can't leave her like that. Got to get this fire going.
Cheers.
No, there's absolute pleasure. Can't have you have with cold hands, and definitely not in this weather. It's awful outside in Sussex at the moment in the UK. It's pouring down with rain and it's freezing cold. So as you can see, it's starting to draw really nicely now. And it's really quite a simple process. If you try and have a light of fire straight away in there, you might find that all the because it's downdrafted so strongly, that what you'll find is that all the actual, you can hear that crackling now, all the actual it'll just blow back into the room. So it's always a better idea to do it this way. As I said, the lady hasn't got any wood, so we're going to try and get it going with some coal, just to keep her going.
Bring my neighbour and see if she can lend me a log.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Just a couple, just to keep you going till you.
I'll see if we can get.
We're just going to put a few of these in there. This is going to be interesting to see if we, because there's such a small amount of kindling. I want to see if we can light these nuggets, just to get this fire going for this lady. I don't want to. We'll just let them. And then what we'll do is we'll put some more paper in there as well, because obviously not having much wood to use, we're going to pretend that the paper is the wood. You can hear it roaring now, can't you? That's great. As I said, obviously make sure you sweep it first, and the great thing is that you've checked inside, it's all in excellent condition. And the reason why it's roaring as much as it is now is because we've got the door open. If we close that down, see the difference? So we'll leave that for a moment. And as I said, the ladies made me a nice coffee, so I'm going to enjoy the coffee. But if you've got this is great. This is another perfect example of, I don't know why the companies have stopped doing this, because you can pressure test these chimneys, and then you can have a register plate fitted, and you don't have to have a liner. And I was a qualified fitter. Well, I still class myself as a qualified fitter, just because I'm not a member of the main association that deals with fitting. You know, I've been fully trained to do them, and I know how to do them. So it's kind of like when I was trained to do them, we could do pressure tests on them, which I do believe that you can still do that, and then have a register plate fitted, and it can save an absolute fortune. And I used to do these. I could do 2 every Saturday, in the winter time, and then literally you know, one on a Sunday. I used to be, when I was younger, I'd do one stove every night, 10 sweeps during the day, 1 stove every night, 2 on a Saturday, and then I'd have Sunday off. And you know, they were just so easy to do, because once you pressure test them, you give them a certificate. We used to charge 65 quid for the certificate, and then measure up for a register plate. And then all the customer would do was order the stove, and they used to come with the pipe, and we'd just come back with a register plate. It'd take you like 2 or 3 hours to fit one of these. Obviously, if it's straight into a builder's recess, which is the brick square opening, and then away you go, sort of thing. So it saves so much money. When I see the quotes of like 1,500 to 2,500 just to fit a liner, it's incredible. You know, it's even more than that if they've got to have scaffolding up there as well. It's a joke. So hopefully these coals look like they're starting to light now. I think we're winning, my lady.
I don't think I'm getting any wood. Both my neighbours with logs are out. I don't know who else has got fire.
Well, I think we might be all right, to be fair.
Okay.
So like just till they come back, or it's a shame that I didn't know I could have brought a bag of logs with me this morning for you.
You're going past this way later?
No, unfortunately, I'm going to Burgess Hill after this, and then Haywards Heath. So,
Oh, right.
but I'm pretty certain you're going to be all right. So they do seem to be lighting. So
That's all I've got. That's all I've got in the world left.
no, I think
How long will that last for?
I think that'll last the day. To be fair, because
So if I
once
can get some logs today.
yeah, if you get some today, you should be all right. I'm not going to use them all. So
And should I have a mixture of logs?
yeah, I would do with this one, because it's realistically it's just a wood burner, but because of your situation and everything, I'd have a little bit of a mixture of both. As long as, and make sure you leave the ash to build up in there. Have a nice thick ash bed in there, and it'll really make it burn a lot more slower and efficient than what it will do at the moment. So
Is that the opposite to an open fire then? Open fire,
no,
you
no.
keep the ash out every
no,
night?
open fire should. If you're burning wood, it should always have. The grates were only ever invented for coal. They were never invented for wood fires. I mean, in the old days, they used to just have an ash bed, and they used to just have the fires on them. So
Oh, right.
it's I don't know, for some strange reason, it's, you know, people assume that you've always got to clean the ash out, but when you clean the ash out, what you're doing is you're allowing all loads of air to be drawn in underneath it, and then the heat gets sucked up the chimney, and then it warms up the chimney really well, but it just keeps sucking it all the air from the room, and it goes underneath the actual fire, and then literally what happens is you end up with you know, like drafts. When you're sitting down, you can feel a draft in the room.
Yeah.
You know, and you think, oh, well, you know, you have to sit closer and closer to the fire to keep warm, because there's drafts in the room, the reason that's happening is because of there's too much air underneath it. So
So is this great big? Is this fire big enough for this room?
yeah, this is ample. I mean,
Really?
yeah,
I
you,
thought it
you
was too small.
no,
I
not
just
at all.
didn't give much detail.
No, not at all. It's absolutely ample. And then the great thing about this one, I've just noticed you've got this here as well, which is fantastic. So if you can see this is like a guard, and basically what you do with these is you can leave the door open with these, and then you can put this across the front, and then it closes up like that, and then that way you can have the door open, and then you can have the guard on. But what we're going to do for the moment, just till we can get them coals there, I'm just going to keep it closed a little bit like that, just so I can get some roaring going, because I want to see some ambers on them coals, and then they know that they're alight, and then you've got a half a bucket in there to keep you going till your neighbours get back. So that's what we'll do. But yeah, these are the like little guards that you can use on these wood burners, that you can leave the door open. So they literally, if you look on them, they've got a handle like that, and that what you do is you put it in front of it, and then you just twist that, and then it keeps it in position. So that way you can get some more heat out of it. Once you've left the ash to build up underneath, I wouldn't recommend doing it until the ash is built up underneath, and then you can use this. And the thing about these is they're so sought after as well, because people just throw them away or lose them. So they're quite rare, these.
Oh, good.
So it's quite amazing, really.
Should I hoover it first?
No, well, you can do. I think once we've had a few fires in there, it'll be all right. But you know, I mean, it is. I mean, at the moment it looks fine. When they get really dusty, they can prevent the they can, you know, stop the heat coming out of the room as much as it should do. So that's fine. And we'll just shut that down. I know, it's brilliant. We'll just keep that shut like that. And finish off my coffee. No, I won't. Yeah.
Snap them in half and eat the good side.
Hmm. So remember, if you ever get one of these guards, you can put them on the front and leave the door open. So I'm going to just put that to the one side now. And I'm going to shut the door. Make it burn a bit slower.
Where do you turn the things at the bottom? The things at the bottom for the drafts?
Just at these.
Yeah, how wide are they?
They're fully open at the moment.
Right. When do you close them?
When the fire starts to sort of take off. At the moment it's
It's all the air it can get.
yeah.
Oops. Is that my phone doing that? Oh gosh. What's I doing?
I'm going to do is just leave it open for a bit. And I'll show you how that so this gate, this like guard, it's got like a little handle here. You just put that underneath and then twist it so it stays into position, and then there you have it. And then that's not going to fall out now. So you literally just twist it to one side, then open it. I think we'll leave it open now, like that.
And how long before it will need more fuel?
Probably a couple of hours, I would have thought.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But should keep going, should it?
Yeah, that's right. I won't bother with it now. We'll just leave it open as it is because you're burning coal in it. We'll leave it open as it is. And then basically, just to allow, because really the coal needs the air to sort of get it to draw. But once you start using a mixture of wood and coal on it, it will burn a lot better. You won't have to use many coals, just a few places where the flames coming up, you can put them there. But yeah, I'd probably get like 2 bags of logs and a bag of coal, and I think you'll find you'll get so much heat. They do these fans, these like wood burning stove fans that you can buy.
I've seen those.
Yeah, they're very effective as well. And a lot of people put them like at an angle behind the pipe, because it'll give you the heat of the pipe as well. So a lot of people stick them at the front, which is not the right place for them to go, but at the sides of the actual, behind the pipe or at the side of the pipe, that's the best place for them to go. Get like 2, one on either side, and then they're set at an angle, so they're sort of facing towards the pipe.
How do they operate?
They operate. They're not battery operated. They run by like a copper coil that makes them spin around. So they don't need anything at all on them whatsoever. So
are they expensive?
No, they're not. You can buy them online. To be fair, you only good with Amazon and stuff like that.
Yes, but don't worry. I don't buy online.
Right.
But I will if I can.
Yeah, I mean,
Get someone else again.
yeah, I mean, there's I know where I live in Hassocks. There's a hardware store, and they're great in there, and they can get all this sort of stuff, and they're very competitive. They're better than places like B&Q and everywhere sort of thing. And I've been comparing their prices to online, and they're very competitive than online. So I've got their brochures on board. So what we'll do is I'll get you one of their brochures in a minute, and then basically what we'll do is we'll see if they've got any fans on there, if they sell any fans. If they do, I'd recommend getting one. Maybe your hardware store in the high street, maybe that they should sell them, or maybe they'd be able to get hold of them. But she's definitely going now. So remember, just let them.
In future, when it's warmed up again, it's been used.
Yeah.
Do I have to go through all that procedure
No,
at all?
not at all.
None of it.
None of it at all. It's literally the reason why I started off with the with on top of the register plate was because the chimney was cold. So I did it in like 2 stages where I warmed the chimney up first.
Yeah.
And then basically then I could concentrate on the wood burner. And then I know that when that smoke goes up through that pipe, it's going to go straight into a warm chimney and it's going to draw instantly. So if I'd have started straight away in there, it would probably start curling around, and because the warm air would be hitting the cold air, and the cold air's heavier than the warm air, unless you like really make a big flame. This is why I do these videos, is because a lot of people, they get frightened about putting too much paper in, and when they hear that roaring they panic. So they only put a couple of pieces on, or they tie it in knots like that when they do their first fire. And of course it doesn't get the flame big enough, so that the cold air is heavier than the warm air. So it pushes the warm air back down the chimney, and then of course it will come back into the room, and then automatically they think it's blocked. But 9 times out of 10, it's just literally where it hasn't been used in the cold air. But if you use loads of paper, and what we've had to do with this one is because we haven't had much kindling to get them coals going. I've packed it with loads of paper to really get it roaring up there, to get that temperature going with it, get the temperature right, that the coals were light, and also to get that flame to go up in the chimney and push that cold air out the top, so that it just warms up that chimney nice and warm now. And then that's it. But you won't have to go through this. Like, say for instance, you have it on all day today, and then you let it go out tonight. You'll be able to just have a normal fire as you normally have it tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, it's fine. It's no problems at all. So, and if you ever get stuck, I don't expect you to go on YouTube, or if you ever get stuck, give me a call and I'll send you the video onto your phone, so you can watch it, and then you can do the.
Oh, lovely.
But you won't have to do the register, the plate thing. You'll just have to put loads of paper in there. If you haven't used it for a few months, I'd recommend that you just pack loads of paper in there, light it. I mean, I could always, like, if I sweep it for you, and if you do start to use it, I can always, like, every time I've swept it, I'll be more than happy to light it for you. It's no problem.
Right.
I really enjoy doing it, and it makes great content for the videos and everything. So
it's still recording?
yeah, it's still going on. So like, and it makes great content, and it's great that when the customer interacts, whilst I'm doing it, asking me questions, because then the questions that you ask are like the questions that people ask as well. So it's really good. So
once it's got going and it's warmed the room up and you want to shut the door again, do you actually leave the two?
No, yeah, that's another good thing, is you close the vents down,
The vents.
but not totally, so there's no air going in there, but close them down as much that there's just enough air. What you'll find is when you do shut them, you'll find that you'll be able to if you close them right down, you'll notice the flame just drops straight away. But if you twist them a little bit open, you'll notice the flame will build up again. So like, you just want a little bit of air going in there, because
To save fuel.
to save fuel.
Yeah.
That's what that's there for.
Right, okay.
So but
Just trying to think if there are more questions I need to ask you. If I wanted to keep it going overnight,
Yeah.
which is the best fuel to use?
Well, I would use a little bit of combination of both coal and wood. I wouldn't have the guard on and leaving the guard on overnight just in case it does fall off, and keep the doors shut and the vents slightly open. But to keep it going overnight, the only way you'll be able to keep it going overnight is to have a nice thick ash bed underneath that. If you empty the ash out, it won't last overnight. It'll last a few hours. But if you fill the ash underneath it, it will last overnight. But a mixture of mainly wood and a bit of coal will keep it going all night, no problem.
And if I store logs either side, in a whole of that space, must they be not too close to the burner?
Yeah, I mean, if you the best thing I always say to people, I mean, a lot of people don't put them on the wood burner because they will catch light. But if you had like a few on either side, but there's a bit of a gap, that's fine. Or at the front of the fireplace, that's fine as well. But make sure that you use them logs either that evening or the next day. Don't leave them there for longer than that, because they will combust and they will catch light. It can be,
Even if the fire's closed up and there's...
if it's not on, it's fine.
Yeah.
But because of their heat, it will they'll get so dry that they'll combust. But I mean, if you say you got them from outside and you just want to dry them out, then that's fine. I mean, even if you put a wet log on top of the wood burner, by the time after a couple of hours, that'll catch light. That's how quick it would catch light on there. So
Incredible,
yeah, it is. So they get dry and then they just combust after a while. So the best thing to do is probably the best thing to do would be to keep them, maybe just like 4 or 5 on either side inside the actual builder's recess, which is that brick square opening, a plaster square opening, should I say. And then, but make sure you use them wood first in the fire, and then maybe have some at the front of it, and then put their ones at the front, at the side, and then bring some in from the garden and put them in, and have like a little bit of a system the way that you do it, because you'll find that the drier the wood is, the easier it'll be to light for you and everything. Firelighters are good, but they're not good when the chimney's cold, because they're a small flame. It's like using that candle to try and light the whole of the chimney, because you can imagine the width of the chimney, because the width of the chimney at the moment is the width of the builder's recess, and then it goes up probably about 6 feet, and then it goes into a sort of a 9 by 9 inch square chimney flue, but so if you were trying to light this whole area, it's like a chamber area here, with like say that like a firelighter would be the same as that candle. It would want to blow the smoke back into the room.
Right. Is there any way you can have a flue put in it after been put in without one?
I wouldn't bother. If you were going to go put a liner in now, what they would turn around and say to you is that this wood burner wouldn't be, they call it, it wouldn't be the right one, which it is it's fine. There's no issues with your setup, what you've got here whatsoever. I used to fit these wood burners with register plates all the time, and there's no issue with them. But if you put a liner in now, it would cost you probably a couple of £1,000, because they would have to you have to put scaffolding up to put it up there because of the health and safety now. Plus, they would tell you that this wouldn't be up to the standards of a wood burner that would be acceptable to be fitted now. So you have to change that, and you'd be looking at probably about between £600 to £800 for the wood burner. So you'd be looking about £4,000 to have the whole job done.
Yeah.
Whereas this is fine, because this was installed before these regulations come in. That there is no enforcement on these, so it doesn't affect your home insurance or anything as it is. And realistically, there's going to be no issues with it at all. So
My only issue is I don't get the heat from it. I
yeah,
can't feel the heat.
yeah. Well, at the moment, it's just warming up. It will take a couple of hours, but you definitely will start feeling the heat out of it. But it's just going to take a bit of time because it hasn't been used for a while. I mean, there's like a baffle plate inside there, which with the flame, it hits that. And if you look at it, if you look inside and then it goes around, then it goes up into the into that pipe and then into the fireplace. But you know, with the register plate there, it's stopping the heat going up. So the heat of this, I mean, it's still not hot enough, you know, that I can't touch it, because normally these get so hot that if I do that, it'll burn my hands.
Right.
But it isn't at that temperature yet. So it's probably going to take a good few hours before it gets to that temperature, and then once it's got to that temperature, it will stay at that temperature. But it is going, and that's the main thing.
I've got another friend who might be in actually, just thought about it.
Okay.
Give her a ring and see. Can I?
Okay, right, that's it from Zachary Sweeps. Have a lovely afternoon and enjoy your fires. Right, I was not going to do this, but I just thought I had to show you what the wood burner's looking like now, and the fire's going really, really well. Look at that, and I'm starting to feel a bit of heat coming out now, which is great. And but yeah, that is absolutely gorgeous. That's one of them videos that you could probably put up for about an hour and just enjoy the flame and everything. So that's what it's looked like after we've done what we did. So remember the procedure we went through, and if you're struggling for a bit of wood and you've only got coal, then you can get it all going and looking like that. Anyway, I'm not going to say goodbye because I already have said that. I'm just going to leave it at that.